Hey everyone, welcome to Clickheads. I'm Eddie the Chump, and today we're going to be talking about Valorant's newest agent, and that's Reyna. Since her release with the game just under a week ago, we've been gathering pro examples so we can bring you a comprehensive guide on how to play her properly. As Riot noted when introducing her, Reyna is very much a glass cannon, win more type of agent, and if you're not getting kills, you don't even have access to her full kit. But let me tell you, when you do, she can be insanely powerful, and on a personal note, while researching this video, I wanted to put into practice some of the lessons I was learning from the pros, and let's just say, it went kinda well. Reyna is now my favourite agent to play in solo queue, as I've never felt like a hero or character in any game was so specifically designed for my style of play. Reyna is a hype beast, emboldening you as the player to play with confidence, which can be both a strength and a weakness. But for now, let's jump straight into the examples as we go through her kit ability by ability. Leah. Let's start with Reyna's Flash, an ability I have already called one of the best of its kind in the entire game, and her only reliable utility without getting any kills. This is the ability everything else will flow from. Let's start off basic. In this clip, Hiko is dueling a Raze in mid-link on Ascent. As the Raze throws her nade, Hiko pushes and uses Leah in exactly the right place. Due to where the Raze is placed, there is no way for her to avoid the blind, and her only choice is to turn away or to try and shoot it, which leaves her vulnerable either way as Hiko is pushed up and kills her. This is what you want to do with Leah. You want to place it in a way that your opponents have to react to it and apply pressure yourself. Next up, we're with Hiko again as he pushes out of hookah on bind. He places Leah so that it will hit anyone standing in the spawn corridor or in the link to be long. The opponent, who is in spawn, can only hide from it or shoot it, which gives Hiko the freedom to push and pre-fire them. Leah gets exponentially stronger the more essential angles it covers, and you can see that in these two clips from Brax. In the first, he places Leah outside of heaven on bind as his opponents are trying to take A short. To cross to sight or to lamps, they have to peek into his Leah, which as you can see does not work out well for them. In the second clip, Brax uses both of his Leah charges and both secure a kill. The first he uses from backside to specifically catch anyone crossing to sight from long, as from where he's standing, he's safe from a hookah peek anyway. He catches the Phoenix as he's trying to move back into cover, and in this position, there isn't really anything the Phoenix could have done apart from shoot the eye. Next, he places his Leah above sight after jump spotting the Brimstone. This elevation is important because he's trying to blind hookah, and if it were any lower, there might be an angle from right at the back where an opponent could see him and not be flashed as he peeked left. As it happens, the Brim is blinded and gets killed pretty much for free. When using Leah, you have to do some quick maths in your brain to make sure it's covering as many angles as possible for the peek you're trying to take. As Reyna, these two Leah charges are your way into rounds, and your success with a character largely depends on the value you can guarantee with them. When you do get value, the real fun begins. Dismiss. So let's move on to what I think might be Reyna's strongest ability, and that's her invulnerability cast, Dismiss. In this first clip with Hiko, we're going to start ultra basic to understand the fundamentals. Hiko secures this kill on A short of Ascent. He then uses Dismiss to check the hallway beyond for further opponents. There aren't any, so he falls back. This is its fundamental use case. Get a kill, avoid being traded, and gain info in preparation for your next duel. You'll see this principle repeated time and time again. So let's move on to this next clip from Hiko. He gets a frag on the enemy Cypher crossing sight, uses Dismiss to check this link corridor and window, waits for a rotating player, kills them, and uses Dismiss again to check spawn. There is a Brim there, and he sets up a favourable fight because he has the info and his opponent doesn't. Reyna can chain these uses together for aggression like no other agent in the game, and what would be a greedy player with inherent risk otherwise becomes the cornerstone of her playstyle. I love this, it's my favourite thing about her. Let's look at this clip from C910's. As he casts Leah and peeks, he sees two opponents, one close and one going to see sight. After the first kill on the Sova, he pre-fires where the other enemy was, just in case they peek, but they don't. So Tens uses Dismiss to check that angle and the rotation from B site. There is a Jet there with an AWP who shoots at him while he's invincible, and then he pushes that player as they try to evade, but is aware of the angle from behind. He kills the Reyna and again uses Dismiss to find out where the Jet has gone. Now what follows is kind of awkward, Because the Jet is closer than he thought, he has to try and duke the shot that will be coming as he leaves his Wraith state. He essentially tries to get in the op user's face to make the shot as hard as possible. The guy whiffs his pistol shots and TenZ gets another kill. Doing this is very risky, I won't lie. Leaving Dismiss in front of an enemy is not what you want to be doing. They largely have the advantage in that scenario, but this play worked because of the amount of chaos he's causing essentially in the opponent's spawn. Had the Jet had a rifle, he probably would have backed off here and not gone for this outplay, but this is what Reyna can do. She can string plays together that really wrongfoot your opponents because they're never sure how much health you have or when you're going to be shootable again. This last clip from TenZ is my favourite and really shows Reyna as a complete agent. Firstly, he uses Lear to blind a Sage he has info on. In this case, the kill is pretty much guaranteed. He then uses Dismiss to cross sight and go heaven. He gets into a good spot to kill a rotator, uses Dismiss again, and just like the earlier Hiko example, spots someone in spawn, kills them, and uses Dismiss again to jump shot this window, sees someone, and kills them as well. Everything came from the great use of Lear, and then just linking small plays together with her synergistic kit. Devour. Speaking of synergy, let's talk about Reyna's self-healing ability. This ability is best used in isolated cases when you're sure you're not going to get peeked by another opponent in quick succession. I'll use the examples to explain. In this first one, Hiko is in a 2v2 and spike down situation, and he gets a kill onto the Sova. Now, he was already quite low, and he chooses to heal here as taking another duel with his even lower HP would be unwise. Because it's a clutch scenario for his opponents, Hiko figures he's safe to heal as he predicts the enemy won't be right next to the first. He guesses right, and the heal sets him up properly for a fight with the Reyna in heaven. Now, as it happens, the Reyna doesn't even hit him, but healing here gives him a much better chance than if he had kept himself at 48 HP. In this next clip, Hiko takes a peek from lamps onto short of A on bind. He kills two opponents but is spammed very low through the smoke. Here's what I want you to understand. He chooses to heal here not only because he's low, but because he also knows where the rest of his opponents are from the spam and there's a smoke in front of him. Being able to go from low to full HP and armor is no joke, especially in low eco rounds such as these. Once he's full, he peeks and kills the Reyna and then the Brim and then the Sage. Facing a Reyna can be like facing a full health opponent each time you peek her, as the heal can essentially reset her if you let it. The timing of when to do this as the Reyna player is when there's a gap in the action, even for just a brief moment. Don't peek an angle where two people can shoot you from opposite sides, kill one, and expect to get away with healing. It's not that insane. But if you ISO a player and finish low, devour that pronto. Pistol rounds. So I have to bring attention to one of Reyna's best strengths, and that's in pistol. When everyone else in the game can only buy light armor max, Reyna has a chance to have a massive advantage. If she does get a kill, she can have essentially full armor, and in rounds where chip damage and healing are already strong, Reyna can dominate. Look at this first clip from Hiko. He takes one Lear charge, two devour, and a ghost. As he and his team get these first two kills through attrition, Hiko can heal up to 150 HP and peek this teleporting enemy, knowing that a headshot will very likely no longer kill him, Sheriff on pistol round aside. In this next clip, Hiko gets an early ghost kill out of double doors with its better range and accuracy, and heals himself up to full armor, something nobody apart from another Reyna can do. He then peeks B and gets immediately headshot, but isn't bothered and gets two more kills. He then heals again to fight the Cypher, but they die from behind anyway. Reyna on pistol is very, very strong if you can get that first kill. If you're a tasty pistol player, you'll excel. One Lear, two Devour, and a Ghost. That's the meta. Empress Ultimate. Okay, so a lot of the most hype clips for Reyna come from her ult, and let's be real, the ult is just her, but with everything turned up to 11. You shoot faster, you move faster, and are basically invisible when you use Dismiss. Every kill heals you and resets the ult counter, plus your enemies are very obviously highlighted when they're on your screen. It's a huge amount of fragging power for one player to have, and if you get to grips with her fundamental style of play, like stringing frags together, Empress is just an easier, more potent version of that. Let's look at three clips now. The first is from TenZ, and he activates it and takes a very aggressive angle in mid of Haven. He creeps up to hay bales, kills the Rays with the higher rate of fire, goes invisible to cross the lane, spots the Sova, peeks and kills him, goes invisible again to push their spawn, and kills the Omen. Having combat stim is underrated in the game actually, in my opinion, but having stim while invisible and auto healing is nuts. The next clip, TenZ uses Lear, wins a messy fight, peeks back out, kills another and gets healed, then goes goes invisible to appear behind this Sage and kills her as well. In isolated fights, the stim and healing combo is a major leg up, but going invisible on dismiss can give you incredible playmaking potential, especially, it turns out, in clutch scenarios, which is exactly what this next clip demonstrates. TenZ enters site with Leah, kills the Omen, then goes invisible and spots two enemies, one back site and one seed long. He plays around this box to ISO these players and kills the Sage, uses dismiss again, but the Viper has ulted. He enters the gas, and because he's in his ult as well, the Viper is highlighted for him and he kills her, which is a huge play. He then searches for more and kills the final enemy, the Raze, after she's ulted and killed everyone but him. As I've already said, this combat stim auto heal combo is deadly in a 1v1, and as that's essentially what you want to do in a clutch, isolate multiple people into individual 1v1s, this makes it very strong in this area if you play it correctly. So in conclusion, Reyna is a fantastic agent for aggressive players who understand how to link the parts of her kit together. Open with Lear, work a pick, use dismiss to push or recon, get another pick, maybe heal, keep going and frag out. She is without doubt my favourite agent in the game. I don't think she's top tier or overpowered, and you can end up doing nothing if you're expecting her value to be as easy as some other agents. But if you feel yourself a little bit, if you're tasty in pistol and you like entering and clutching, then she can be devastating. And that's about it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the content on this channel, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you get notified when we upload. Also, please do check out our Facebook stream and our Twitter. We'll be no lifing Valorant on the Facebook, and it would be great to see some of you in the chat. Until next time.